We'll see. StarDuck has had some time to prepare. Not only that, he was also in the chat. He was watching Beastork versus GogojOey, thinking, contemplating on how he's going to approach this. Is it enough to take down the Joey?
He's wiping his brow right now, heaving a sigh of relief. He's glad he doesn't have to face Beastork again.
Is he glad? We'll see.
Because at least GogojOey is somebody he understands.
It's true. It's true.
As we begin our grand finals here on Pills of Gold, LE, holding up the rest of the current map pool, also LE. We're here in the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. The Blues player coming down from the land of Hong Kong. He is the best player from Hong Kong and currently the only member of the Bermuda Triangle. Let's get a shout out to Seal Mold. That's still remaining in this tournament. He is GogojOey.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Pillars of Gold LE, we have the Australian Hope right now. He is here for the very first time in the grand finals of Demi SEA Weekly. He just took down the Cat King himself, Miyamika. Can he close it out? Can he win the entire event? We'll find out. This is game one. It is StarDuck.
He's definitely been doing his homework. He was gunning for Miyamika, and he has got. All right. He's gonna go into this whole, maybe he was taking notes, maybe he was strategizing and devising a plan for GogojOey, and then he goes for Cannon Rush.
Yeah,
but then again, maybe he figures this is his best chances.
So I'm getting some deja vu here. This wasn't a series that we were able to cast, but a couple of days ago, earlier this week, I believe it was in the Orca Cup. It was in in a tournament that some drunk Canadian, was hosting. StarDuck and GogojOey face each other, and some drunk Canadian was able to cast it. So I was tuning into the broadcast, and this exact same scenario came out where StarDuck did force a cancel. He did delay a base. He didn't overly commit like Beastork did in what we just saw in that failed cannon rush. And StarDuck was ahead. The problem was that GogojOey went for like a big 2-base all-in afterwards, and StarDuck he kind of missed the scouts, as often happens with StarDuck.
I think,
and he was not ready for it.
I think that's what inspired him for a series against Miyamika.
Ooh, it's possible. It's possible.
I do like that he did sort of commit to a single cannon, though. It's going to be just a little bit of a nuisance for GogojOey to be able to take that third base location. That said, GogojOey is going for a bit of a quicker third base, and he's taking a very forward position on it.
Yeah, definitely, which is a little bit scary. Not going to lie, but we'll see. Obviously, like, sure, the third base was delayed a little bit, was forced to cancel. Thankfully, StarDuck, he didn't overly commit to anything here, right? Like, unlike Beastork, it's just a single cannon and a single pylon. And from there, we're just getting into a normal game.
Well, that's what I was hoping to avoid.
Which, again...
but it should probably show us something interesting coming up here. StarDuck can definitely go toe-to-toe against some of the best in a longer macro game, but he needs the game to go as long as possible, really. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of the master of timing attacks.
Yeah, I would 100% say that StarDuck is favored in a longer macro game here against GogojOey. What's important as well is I was just quickly checking the stream, and this is exactly what StarDuck did as well last time. It was a Nexus first opening as well. It wasn't a straight up Forge first. So because of that, he does have a bit of an economic advantage here, and he will be able to get away with it a little bit as he is finally getting to his tech and getting into his Twilight Council.
Okay. So once again, just not too committed to that double Stargate play, switching things up quite a lot, going for Glaives once more. And is it going to be as devastating against GogojOey as it was against Vivid? It's pretty likely.
Yeah,
he's not expanding.
We will see. As GogojOey does invest in Pneumatized Carapace for his Overlord, so he does have Overlord speed. He zooms on in. He sees everything in the main base. He's 100% aware of the Twilight Council. He keeps an eye on the gases. He knows it isn't a charge all-in like he did previously against Miyamika. So he should be preparing himself for it. Even cancels.
He canceled his Spores. He canceled spores and he... Okay, now he has to see
rejects.
Star Trek.
It was almost a big brain play. The Overlord moved away, but again, because the Overlord is still alive, and only just now is the Stalker coming in. GogojOey did dive back in. He did confirm the Dark Shrine. What's a little bit concerning is that there is still no Spore, but he is working on the lair.
Yeah, I think he wants to rely a bit more on his Overseer here. Spores are great and all, but they're not mobile, so why would you want them?
Yeah, I mean, we do have a Spore on the way because, again, Spores are pretty valuable here, and he did delay it for he did delay it for a little bit. Again, kind of being as efficient as possible. He doesn't want to get it too early because that does affect your economy, but the Spore is here. There are plenty of Lings to chase the Shades. We'll see if StarDuck commits. Hopefully he doesn't. Oh.
He does! And he gets immediately surrounded by these Zerglings. A very low number of Adepts here, nowhere near enough to really cause a disruption in the army of positioning of GogojOey here. He just gave away those Adepts basically for free. 3 Overseers are on the way. Looked like started Wonder Warp in a couple of DTs, but is forced to back off. He's dedicated.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, mate. Like, Blink on his DTs, it's cute and all, but as you said, there are 3 Overseers, mate. And now finally StarDuck sees all the detection that GogojOey has, and he is forced back.
Start canceling DT Blink though. Shadow Strike.
Oh, and this is terrifying. There are no Adepts here. Like, to protect the third. The third's gonna get cancelled.
It should. StarDuck trying to buy himself as much time as he can so he can get some units before those Lings turn to attack that natural position.
Oh boy, as the third does get cancelled, the Lings are looking to try and break on in. Thankfully, you know, he does have Warp Gate, so he is able to warp in a couple of Adepts behind the Zealots, so the Lings aren't going to find too much damage. But the problem is that, like, GogojOey's in the driver's seat. He has full map control. He's free to expand, take a fourth if he wants to, just drone up, tech up, do whatever he wants.
StarDuck's not even a passenger right now. He's a hitchhiker. He's trying to get into the car. Find his way back in.
We'll see if he can. Pretty interestingly, he is working on Immortal production, so he's getting ready for this next step. I do like this. Like, again, he had a bunch of spare minerals, so instead of going for another expansion, he's working on his Immortals. Hopefully he does go for a third, but at the same time, like, it's so late, it may not be even worth it. Maybe he just transitions into a 2-base all-in from here.
I feel like he might as well. I think that's really what he's got going for him. GogojOey has not really one to let up on the aggression. I don't think StarDuck is going to have enough to... He's not going to have enough start defense, I feel, either. If he does get that third base.
As StarDuck does spot the main army moving out, the Lings and the Roach Ravager are outside the natural base of StarDuck. StarDuck, he does have a couple of Immortals here. Ooh, nice Contaminate on the Forge.
Yeah, honestly, one of the most important upgrades right now for StarDuck to get. He needs to be able to deal with the Roaches just that much more efficiently, but he has no way to do so. Both Immortals getting taken out. The third one does get picked up, but yeah, it's not looking too good for him regardless. Like, look at that army supply. The DTs do come in, try and do whatever they can, but they get picked off by the reinforcements of GogojOey. GG is called. And GogojOey will be taking game number 1. Very good reactive play we've seen from him.
Yeah, exactly. GogojOey was on a point when it came to his scouting. He dove in, he saw the initial Twilight Council, he dove back in, and he confirmed that there was a Dark Shrine on the way as well. So he was all over the place when it came to, well, he was on top of everything when it came to his scouting, and StarDuck was trying to be a little bit cheeky there, but couldn't quite pull it off.
Almost. I feel like if this was any other Zerg player in this current bracket, they would have pretty much fallen. Even Mio-Micah, he's not quite as vigilant as GogojOey tends to be.
It's very true. I think that's an understatement.
Maybe Ender has a... Yeah. Maybe Ender, because he also does scout quite a bit.
Yeah. Mio-Micah is kind of known for skipping out on scouting a little bit. And yeah, that's that.
I like to imagine if Mio-Micah played Terran, he just would never use scan.
Mate, why would you waste money on scans? All you want is those boosted supply depots. That's what you want, mate.
You know what? I can't say I disagree. I can't say I disagree. As we continue our grand finals here, game number 2 taking place on Jagannatha, KBBLE. We're here in the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. The blue Zerg player, he is coming down from the land of Hong Kong, the best player from Hong Kong. He dropped a single map in yesterday's Grand Platypus Open, but today he's disappointed in himself, it seems. He has really went back to drawing board, and he is looking to do Lord Loken proud, but also his brethren from the Zerg Muta Triangle proud, as he is the only member left. He is GogojOey.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Australian Protoss. He is red. He is representing his team, his clan, fight for justice. Currently down 0-1 in this best of 5. But again, it's very first time here in the grand finals. Can he pull it off? It is StarDuck.
So, not a fortress this time. I feel like that's StarDuck may have made some kind of a agreement with a cat spirit that he does the cannon rush at least once against GogojOey.
I was about to
actually getting a forge now.
Yeah, I was about to say
Gateway Forge, but
yeah, I was about to say, so it was a Gateway Forge, and it wasn't Nexus first, unlike the previous game. So this is a very different opening for StarDuck, because it is a lot more safer. It's less greedy, and again, ideally, this is just to delay and force a cancel here on the natural location. GogojOey, he sees it, he's aware of it, and he should be forced to cancel. Okay.
Right at the last second. As StarDuck does once again.
That he
I
does.
guess you never really want to underestimate this either, right? Because with that initial natural block that StarDuck had, it's delaying the expansion of GogojOey for so long.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like that's that's definitely the goal here. You could argue that maybe StarDuck will stick around and just keep trying to cancel this and throw down more cannons, but again, like that's not really what StarDuck wants. He just wants to be a little bit ahead in terms of the economy, force the delay on the hatchery, and he's content with that.
Yeah. Except with that, and he's feeling pretty confident that he'll be able to go into his mate game pretty undisturbed from GogojOey.
That's the hope.
Well,
oh boy,
he got the damage.
Yeah, he did indeed, and we'll see how we go from here. I like this. So far, we do have a Stargate opening for StarDuck.
Yeah, a lot more standard in this current meta, so no gateway committals so, at the moment. Could try to switch into that as we go into our mid game, but for now, we should be seeing a Void Ray, and I imagine an Oracle coming up from StarDuck.
I imagine so. We'll keep an eye on him.
Good map for it.
Yeah, and we'll see if he commits to double Stargate play. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'd actually enjoy it quite a bit, to be honest. Obviously, this map, like, the dangers of this map are Queen pushes, Queen Red Ravager pushes. Like, they can go across the map quite quickly, and we do see, you know, a commitment to this Queen production, so the possibility is there. But, you know, regardless, like, you can still defend against that, going double Stargate and eventually going into those disruptors, as we've seen StarDuck do many times.
Two varying degrees of success.
Yeah,
and StarDuck, he isn't particularly favored in these early to mid stages of the game, but that's fine as long as he's able to survive into the late game.
Yeah, a lot of it does come down to scouting. A lot of it comes down to StarDuck being able to really determine whether GogojOey is droning up or whether he's like getting ready to go for a big attack. Like that's what StarDuck kind of struggles with a little bit, you know. So we'll see. Like at the moment, he is keeping his adepts alive, and he does commit to the shade, and he confirms, hey, look, he finds the Evo Chamber and the Roach Warren.
Knows that something is coming his way. But whether that's going to be lings or roaches, to be determined.
That it is, as I believe we did see, yes, the Void Ray did pop out for StarDuck. He is kind of cleaning up whatever he can, and he's going straight into Glaives.
Alright, so I don't know what it is about StarDuck, but he's really liking his Glaive Adepts so far this week. Doing it in different ways, or getting to the Glaive Adepts in different ways each time, but ultimately that's what his main tactic seems to be.
Honestly, I kind of like this, especially because even though he scouted the Roach Warren, like GogojOey knows that his Roach Warren got scouted as well, so like that also comes into play. As we see, GogojOey isn't committing whatsoever to a Roach attack. He is going straight into +1 melee and a lair. So it's possible that the Glaive Adepts are going to catch GogojOey off guard, and if there's only links to defend, like the Adepts are just going to go crazy.
Yeah, throwing that +1 ground weapons, and I just imagine the Lings get completely shredded. I don't even have to imagine it. It is just known.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm honestly a little bit surprised because we have +1 melee on the way, and I was a little bit concerned that, oh, like, what if there are Banelings to defend, and maybe they get juicy connections on the Adepts, but there's no Baneliness whatsoever.
None at all. GogojOey is getting a couple of roaches, quite a bit of roaches, actually.
Yeah.
Guess he has realized, wait a minute. Don't want to be caught with my pets down here.
Exactly. And honestly, that's pretty important, and this is a big scout as well, as he does poke in. He doesn't see Resonating Glaives done, but he does see a mass amount of Adepts, so he should be aware that it was, you know, a Twilight Council follow-up, and that there should be these Adepts moving out across the map.
Yeah, you don't get that many Adepts unless you intend to use them.
Especially with Glaives, like...
Hey.
Oh,
I think safety number is something like 3 Adepts at most.
I have to wonder though, because like StarDuck, his Adepts just got scattered, so, and his opponent is GogojOey, right? So the smart thing to do, the Miyamika thing to do, would be not to attack, right? Like, sure, you could argue that it's a waste of money, resources, that he got Glaive Adepts and he's not going to utilize them offensively, but if your opponent's going to be ready for it, then why risk it?
Yeah. Which is why we see StarDuck just completely searching things up right now. He's going for a double Robo Facility, and he is trying to work on his Robo Bay as well. Yeah, Disruptor Tech coming out. Going to be really key for dealing with the Roaches. And here we go. The Adept's actually going to be used very well defensively.
Yeah.
Against the Lings. Roach speed not quite finished up.
And look at this,
they weren't really here to help.
Yeah, and GogojOey, he's forced to bring everything back. Like, GogojOey was getting ready for this massive attack, but upon seeing all those Glaive Adepts with +1, he just turns around. He knows that he can't break him.
He was just wait for StarDuck to try to break him, but it ain't gonna happen.
Exactly, and right now, this is beautiful for StarDuck, because GogojOey, he's only just now working on his 4th base. Like, GogojOey is pretty far behind in terms of the economy. They're equal, 3 bases with equal worker count. Like, this is beautiful for StarDuck. And now StarDuck bought enough time where he has 3 Robos, triple disruptor production.
That's quite a bit.
That's quite a bit, but that also means that a lot of this is going to come down to how juicy the Purification Novas are going to be, because GogojOey, he's getting ready to bust in. He's got his Roaches, he's got his Banelings.
9 of them on the way, even more coming down. And Baneling speed, actually, it's still a little bit of a ways off. Oh dear. These disruptors are completely caught, and that's a juicy connection with that Purification Nova. That said, I feel like GogojOey is trying to force StarDuck to use those Novas prematurely, and he kind of does, but here come the not prismatic alignment. Stasis wards completely blocking the majority of these Banelings from popping off.
Mate, StarDuck defended this beautifully. This was absolutely insane. Finally, the Stasis ward will run out, but yo, the Nova is the time to...
Oh, just a little bit off, and Baneling's feet did finish up while they were in stasis, and that was some pretty good connections. Not enough to really clean up these Adepts, but they're looking pretty low.
Yeah, and you can see just the army supply swing in favor of StarDuck. Like, that was a lot of wasted Lings, Banelings, and Roaches for GogojOey. There's an opportunity for StarDuck to go across the map. But again, a lot of this comes down to the Purification Novas, and he's going to be pushing into creep against Speed Banes.
Speed Banes, Speed Lings, Roaches to have speed. If he gets on top of those disruptors, then those Novas are not gonna pop out.
Oh god.
It is not gonna work out for him too well. There is a stasis ward, so GogojOey has to be a little bit careful.
Was wasted.
Very nicely done over there. Was kind of wasted. The Purification Nova, some of them not really landing, but enough of them did. It seemed nowhere near.
Yeah, I think only one Nova landed.
Yeah.
The Novas, they did not connect whatsoever, especially because
1.5.
Especially because the disruptors were in front of the army, so they were exposed. So when the Banelings connected, the Novas were the first. Sorry, the disruptors were the first things down. So StarDuck had so much potential with his army, but he was caught off guard. He was not ready for that attack. All of his disruptors go down. He only has a couple left, and now is it enough? Ooh.
Very juicy shot with one of his disruptors, but not going to be enough. All of these Lings are coming in for the signature GogojOey counterattack, and he's even working on Mutas right now, Light.
He is. Mutas are on the way, and even if StarDuck is able to defend here, and honestly, again, like a beautiful Purification Nova, he gets so much value with them. He does defend for now, but is he ready for the Mutas? He's working on Blink. Blink is about to finish up, but he hasn't scouted this. He doesn't know that he needs to start Phoenix production.
He really does not. He's got a couple of Archons, which will be useful, but I just gotta look at that army supply difference slide, and even with the Archons, I do not favor StarDuck's chances.
Yeah, exactly. Archons are just so immobile. Like, if they're not in position, these Mutas are going to deal so much damage, and the Mutas, they dive into the main base. There's nothing here. There's no shield battery. There's no cannon. There's absolutely nothing.
Okay, well, GogojOey isn't going for that pylon, but that's probably for the best. He wants to get as many probes as he can. Really start to starve out StarDuck.
Yeah, and not just
now
that.
Phoenix is being made. That's a kill.
That is a kill, and StarDuck is forced all in. His main army is going through the center of the map. He's going to do what he can. The problem is that the only thing here that shoots up is this one Archon and this Void Ray that's almost dead. Like, the Mutas just have to turn around.
But it's not dead yet.
It died.
Okay, now it's dead.
Oh god, as again the Novas are nice here, you know, he gets a lot of damage, but he lost his fourth, and the Mutas come back, and the Mutas just gonna clean up.
Most importantly, Purification Novas don't shoot up. GG's call, and GogojOey is now on match point. Light. You can really tell he was kicking himself after yesterday.
Yeah, and StarDuck, he came so close that game. Like, he had, like, again, the defense was beautiful. He knew that he had the advantage. He went across the map, but the defense there was just on point for GogojOey. Like, the Baneling connections, the lack of Purification never hits. You know, it's just everything went well there for GogojOey. Not so much for StarDuck.
I agree with that assessment.
Now we're getting into game 3.
And yeah, we're getting into game 3. GogojOey's now on match point. I have to wonder how StarDuck is dealing right now. He did really well to take out his nemesis, Mio Micah, and make it to these finals, but it's also one of his first time in the Demi SEA Weekly finals. One of his first times in a SEA Weekly finals.
Yeah, it's one of these things where, like, regardless, I'm sure he is a little bit nervous. He's incredibly inexperienced when it comes to these like high pressure, intense, competitive scenarios. So, oh boy, we'll see if StarDuck can pull it together here in potentially his last chance to fight back and put a point on the board. Yeah,
I tell you what, there's at least an advantage here going up against GogojOey. GogojOey is not the type of player who, you know, once he goes on match point, he says, you know what, I'm going to do something weird. Because if I win, I win. My opponent's not expecting it. And if I lose, and, you know, I've still got 2 more chances.
Exactly.
GogojOey's not really the type of player. He is more of the, I'm going to do what worked out for me until my opponent's able to beat it.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where GogojOey just has so much room to work with. Like, he can do whatever he wants. He can open he can open up 12 pool if he wants to.
I can keep my eyes on that. As we potentially, hopefully that's not the case, potentially conclude this Demi SEA Weekly. The last time it is going to be weekly, unless some drunk Canadian is feeling a little generous again. No, he's got some projects he's doing right now, But you know, it's actually really cool. But yeah, it does. You know, he needs to fund them, so yeah. But regardless, shout out to some drunk Canadian for being a sponsor for this long in the Demi SEA Weekly, allowing it to actually happen weekly for, what was it, 5-6 weeks in a row? Something along those lines. As we continue the series on Def Ora LE. I know that this is GogojOey's preferred map, so yeah, hopefully this isn't going to be the end. Coming down from Hong Kong in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, he is getting energy from both Ender and Miomaika, the last Zerg Muta Triangle. He is representing himself as currently teamless, GogojOey.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Australian hope himself, the Miomaika Killer. He is finally here for the very first time in a Demi SEA Weekly Grand Finals. Can he pull it off? Can he at least put a single point on the board? We'll find out. He's the Pink Protoss, representing Clan Fight for Justice. It is StarDuck. So, I've spoken to StarDuck about this before, and obviously the most Protoss, especially macro, favored maps in the map pool are Romanticide and Death Aura. We have seen players like Stats and Zest really flourish on a map like this with their defensive style to eventually get into Skytoss. Again, if there's a map to do it on, it would be Death Aura. You can get up to 4 bases quite easily. You can wall off. You know, you only need 2 buildings here in the natural. But at the same time, I'm sure GogojOey is well aware of that. And again, we keep bringing it up. You know, he being incredibly aggressive. He can, you know, go across the map with his Lane Bane Roach Ravager and just kind of end it.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword here on Death Aura. The bases are definitely a lot more compact. You can get to your 4 bases and turtle into the late game, which is what a late game Protoss player wants to do. But at the same time, there are speed zones. This also isn't the longest rush distance in the current map pool, so yeah, it kind of works both ways. You need to really entrench your position quickly if you know your opponent wants to be aggressive. Exactly. Otherwise, they are going to throw supply your way until you crack.
The other important thing to note is that GogojOey has been favoring Spire play, right? Like, he has been utilizing mutas quite a bit, and it doesn't matter how entrenched your bases are on the ground, like, mutas don't care.
They really don't.
Boy, as we do see the links
Just go over the trenches.
Yeah, exactly.
Life hack.
Yeah, just like a wallaby.
Why aren't I like a general?
Do you want one answer to that question, or do you want...
Because I did the military.
God.
The few men in Singapore who had...
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. So GogojOey was being a little bit aggressive here. He's sending another wave of links to try and hit that wall. And there is no shield battery behind this to help keep the Adept alive. Yo, Warp Gate isn't done. Yeah,
and the Warp Gate is not done. The probe not quite in position. StarDuck, he was wound forward to try to block it, but he got it delayed a little bit. Will get it in time at the very least, but Warp Gate is looking to be in a lot of trouble right now. It should finish up. It should finish up. Right? It should finish up, right?
Mate, 6 seconds, 5. It looks like it will just barely finish up. Chrono Boost gets used on it, but he does lose the Cyber Core.
That he does. Force to remake it right now. He can only get 1 Adept out. He will be able to get... Okay, this is where it will help the defenses quite a bit, but for a while it is only going to be... what's it called here? Like, Zealot production from the gateways, which is why I love that StarDuck went for the early fleet beacon.
Mate, this is the StarDuck I want to see, all right? I don't want to see this StarDuck with the Glaive Adepts, you know, with the Forges and the Denials, no commitment with the cannons. I want to see him go full Clown Fiesta, go into mate. So okay. I don't know if you know this. You should know this. The people in the chat should know this.
You told me about it. I casted. I casted.
Sentimento Latino.
No, it was a Battle of the Americas. Yeah, Sentimento Latino, and this was what Paco Mike loved to do.
Not just Paco Mike, Zions as well. The Paco Mike has been spreading a little bit. What's important is that recently, last week, I introduced StarDuck to this because StarDuck was actually casting Sentimento Latino, and he's been casting Battle of the Americas as well. I've been exposing him to Latin America, and no, but not this, not like this.
Not like this, no.
Yeah, the links slip on in. Oh my god, more links on the way.
More links to start the stream, and I didn't get to surround the Zealots!
No!
Zealots light!
No.
Carrier is about to come out, but is that gonna help him in the end?
Mate, it's
the
too late.
is gonna chew away. I think it's too late.
It's exactly. The Lings are flooding on in. The wall is not a wall. Banelings are being morphed in the face of StarDuck. Sure, the carrier does reveal itself, but as you said, it's too late. 16 probes have gone down.
Have the biggest not like this face on. I have the biggest not like this look at my face light. I gotta tell you. StarDuck is gonna be able to chase this away eventually, but he's lost 21 probes, and more importantly, he revealed his hand very, very early on. GogojOey has so much time now to catch up and be able to counter what's being thrown his way.
Exactly. The point of this build is to keep this hidden for as long as you can, kind of like 2-base Spire play, where you kind of bank up the mutas and then you go out across the map. Likewise, you bank up 3 or so carriers, then you move out across the map. But as you said, he was forced to show his hand. They were used defensively. Now GogojOey is well aware of what StarDuck is going for, and if he's on top of it, he is not going to allow his third to go up.
That's a kill.
That's
a kill as well. GogojOey, this is what we always see from him. Like, you give him an inch, although this is more of GogojOey taking that inch from StarDuck, and he will go the absolute distance. He will bring it all the way home for the home run, question mark? Is that the term? He'll run it all the way, full 9 yards. Is that it? But GogojOey, when he gets control, he keeps control.
I was about to say, mate, none of us are American here, right? Me and Micah went down earlier, okay? Joe Biden is not in the finals. Oh boy. As again, GogojOey, like, he has so much freedom to do whatever he wants. Lair is done. He's working towards his 4th base. He has a Spire that's about to finish up, so he can work on his Corruptors to take down the carriers. Right now, StarDuck is completely all in. The carriers are across the map. Sure, he can force a denial here, but he's on a timer. He has to deal as much damage as possible before the Corruptors come out.
He absolutely does, and he should be able to get a little bit done in the very least. You know, again, these queens are very, very slow, and while they're all right against the interceptors, they're not really going to do too much against the carriers as a whole. 13 Corruptors on the way, like halfway done.
Yeah.
I see it so clearly.
Exactly.
I see GogojOey pouncing on top of these. He's making sure that StarDuck is going deep into GogojOey territory right now, like.
I mean, StarDuck, he does have enough energy to recall away his carriers, but despite that, he should lose at least one here. Oh my god, recall isn't even being used, and these carriers are dead, mate. They're gone.
StarDuck has enough to like 2-shot these. There we have it. GG is called. GogojOey. Man, oh man, you can tell that he was disappointed with his GPO run yesterday. He went into the hyperbolic time chamber, and he was absolutely dominant tonight, like. GG, very impressive from GogojOey, but at the same time, I don't want to take away from StarDuck here. More importantly, he was able to take out Mio Micah.
Exactly, and you know what? I'm sure GogojOey is very grateful that that StarDuck was able to do that. I'm sure GogojOey was not looking forward to another Mio Micah versus GogojOey finals. As you were saying, GogojOey was on fire. He was able to take down quite a number of heavy hitters like Azure, like Beastork, and here in the finals, he was able to avoid that Vietnamese Zerg player. Instead went up against StarDuck, and StarDuck, there were moments of brilliance here. Again, game 2 on Jagannatha, like, StarDuck he was ahead. StarDuck was straight up ahead after defending, but again, you know, a little bit of miscontrol there when it came to his attack. Likewise here, I love that he was going for a fast fleet beacon. I love the fast carrier play. It was very unexpected, something that isn't really shown here in the Oceanic or Southeast Asia region, a little more Latin American. But in the end, he wasn't able to hold on to his natural base. He wasn't able to wall off. More importantly, it's one of those things where StarDuck had very limited scouting information. He had no idea that there was mass Ling coming across the map.
That he did not. Which I guess just goes back to the style that StarDuck really really prefers to go for.
I love what Sada just said in the chat. 90 yards get you to first base.
Is that it? Wait.
I don't even know if that's true.
That's baseball. That's baseball, right?
Yeah, you were saying home run if you remember. You were like,
right.
Yeah.
He hits the home run, goes to 9 yards. So 90 yards. 90 yards? Okay, so 12 yards is 1 foot. No,
what?
12 feet is 1 yard. 12 feet is 1 yard.
There you go. There you go. Mate, look, we don't use feet and yards here, all right? We're all about metric.
You do both.
Oh, God. But...
Wait, I'm breaking the calculator out.
Whip it out, mate. Whip it out. Congratulations to GogojOey. Condolences to StarDuck. Regardless, StarDuck has gone further than he ever has before in Demi SEA Weekly. He takes that second place. And again, he can only get, like, he's been improving so much this past year. I say year, these past three or so months. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last time we see him in the finals.
Nor would I, and that just brings me back to ANZ champs. It's coming soon, and that is where I think StarDuck might be a little bit relieved. Doesn't have to face Mio-Micah or GogojOey as often, but I tell you what, like, he will have to face up against Seether, who is the big boss. He has escaped from Tarkov, and he's got a lot of loot from it there.
It's a really weird dichotomy that these things are going to have, because in these weekly events, the heavy hitters are the Zerg players, so everyone's like, especially in these weeklies, they're all working on their versus Zerg. Then they're going to show up for ANZ champs. It's like, mate, the only Zerg player there is Orya, you know? Yeah. It's going to be like, well, like, there are a couple more, but like, they're not the heavy hitters, right? Like, the big scary one there is a Terran, Seether, and there's not that much Terran practice going around.
Listen, I believe in the NXZ comeback. If he's not too busy playing chess.
I was about to say he's been playing chess almost daily now.
Listen, I feel like what's it called? Every StarCraft 2 player is gonna have to have a chess phase at some point.
There you go. And I guess this time it is NXZ, and oh god, again, much love to the players for making it here to the finals, for GogojOey for winning. Not just that, but also, as a reminder, shout out to Vivid. He did win the random raffle as well. He does walk away with some of that money. Shout out to Ender coming back and again making Mio-Micah work for it, going into the ace match against him in the ZvZ. We're also kind of waiting for Ender to really flourish, you know, finish his training in that hyperbolic time chamber and really break out once again in 2021.
I'm trying to agree with you while also doing math in my head.
Oh my god, are you still trying to like calculate meters on the yards?
30 cm is... No, wait, 1 yard is about 30 cm. Yeah, because 1 inch is about 2.5 cm.
Wait, one yard is 30 centimeters?
No, 1 foot is 30 centimeters.
What are you saying?
1 foot is 30 cm. 1 foot is 30 cm, so it's 30 times 12.
Oh no.
360 centimeters or is in 1 yard, so 1 yard is about 3.6 cm, so times 90. Wait, 360 times 90, 32400 centimeters, so it's 324 meters. How long is 324 meters? The average person is the average. Wait, so I'm like 1.78 meters. Wait.
So thank you everyone for the broadcast. Exclamation mark Maturino in the chat if you want to help support the tournament. I believe all codes have been used up while Yaku tries to figure out his math. And oh boy, with that, Yaku, if people want to help you out with your math, how can they help you?
You can just send me money so I don't have to do math in my day job. I don't have a day job.
Oh god. Where can people find more of you?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. Probably I'm not gonna stream. I'm not gonna stream till I finish this goddamn report.
F's in the chat for Yaku. For people wondering, Yaku has slowly been like devolving and just like his brain has been melting and he's under the stress of his assessments. Oh god, but give him plenty of love. You can follow him on the social medias. You can see him break down in real time on Twitter as well, as I'm sure that's gonna happen at any point now.
I've gotten to the point where I'm just randomly retweeting like dogs.
Oh god, oh god.
So Yeah, not too long before I put out a tweet longer that's just gibberish.
There we go. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh god. Meanwhile, you can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter as well. I'm most likely going to be streaming after this, maybe tomorrow morning as well. Just some ladder sessions, just some behind the scenes streams, working on thumbnails, editing VODs, things of that nature. More importantly, of course, you can follow the Cranky Ducklings, as I do quickly show that on screen right now. We are live throughout the week. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow afternoon at 6 PM KST with ESL Open Cup Asia.
Right after Management 101.
Yeah. Oh boy. So if you want to tune into that, it's going to be an amazing tournament, and it's also going to be
save me.
It's going to be a post class session for Yaku, so
Patient, save me.
what the hell's Patience going to do for you in management, mate? What?
Yeah. No, he's gonna help my brain, right? Like, comprehend? No, wait, that might actually be worse.
Oh no.
It's gonna be great. Looking forward to it.
Oh boy. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I do quickly want to give a shout out to Lord Loken once again for boosting that prize pool. Papa Loken himself. Unfortunately, this time it doesn't fund his boy Miyamaika, but the rest of the players, StarDuck and GogojOey, do appreciate it a lot. I imagine we appreciate it as well. Thank you so much, Lord Loken, for always supporting the tournaments for the scene. Much love.
Absolutely. Cornerstone of LATAM and Southeast Asia events. Well, yeah.
I literally.
It's like I think he's like 15% of the player sponsors.
Literally carrying it on his back, mate. Jesus Christ.
Players who win, they're like, oh yeah, 15% of 20% of my income comes from like Lord Loken.
So they have to put on their tax, mate, on the tax return. Oh boy. But with that, we are done for the day. Do you have any closing words, Yaku?
Just want to shout out Some Drunk Canadian once again for funding Demi SEA Weekly this long. I know Demi really appreciates it. This is ideally Demi would have the SEA Weekly be, actually weekly, but fortunately he is living that student life, so he's unable to really fund it weekly as he would like to. And yeah, this is the last time it is going to be weekly once again, as gonna go back to that semi-weekly, fortnightly schedule, if you will. And I know Some Drunk Canadian also has a couple of projects that he has in mind, so yeah, give him a bit of a follow on the social medias as well.
Yeah, like
very entertaining.
Demi never intended this event to be weekly, so it was really cool when Some Drunk Canadian kind of, stepped in and was like, hey, I'm willing to sponsor this and make this a little bit more of a frequent event. So it was really cool for that to happen for as long as it did, especially in this period of time, in this kind of off season leading into the first season of DreamHack and ANZ Champs. It's really important for these players to have something to work on, a goal to strive towards, keep them in shape for that big event on the horizon. So yeah, massive shout out to Some Drunk Canadian for supporting. And with that, hey, we're done for the day.
We are. Well, you're done for the day.
You're like, my night's only just beginning.
I get the hot sixes in my palm.
Feels bad, man. Thanks everyone for watching today. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bella.